God bless you. I'm so excited for this season. This is a wonderful season and a great time of year. Even in the midst of all the chaos and the restructuring and the rebuilding, God is still good, and I love him and I love you. And I want to welcome you to the Potter's Touch. I am real excited. I am so excited. In just a few weeks, I've got a movie coming out, and I want you to be sure to check it out. I'm so excited. The movie is based on the Word of God. It's called Not Easily Broken. And I thank all the pastors and all the leaders and all the church people and all my friends who are buying out theaters and going out to see Not Easily Broken. You will not be embarrassed. It's a rich word, a healing word. It talks about love and relationships in real life in a powerful way. And I think you're going to really be blessed by it. Life does have its ups and downs. That's what we talk about in the movie. That's what we talk about in our messages. There are tragedies and triumphs. But God has been faithful. And as we catch our breath from the events of the year and seek God for a vision for the new year, I've got a message just for you. The message is called Never Give Up. Don't you do it. Don't you break. Don't you faint. Don't you collapse. You are not easily broken. God has something wonderful for you. And as we tune into the Word of God, may the Word of God tune into you. Take a look at this. Maybe you're going through something in your life where you're squeezed in between two crisis, two opposite experiences that are demanding so much of you that you're afraid you're going to become unglued and discombobulated and disjointed and fragmented and at the end of your rope, and you're in a position where you want to quit but you can't. And now I know that some of you have never been in that situation because everything has fallen into place, but there are a few people in this room that know what it's like to be in a situation where everything in your flesh is saying give up. And yet you're in a situation where sometimes you're standing not because you're so strong, you just don't have any other option. You're just backed in a corner, you know, and it's not that you didn't think about quitting. It's not that you didn't fantasize about quitting. It's not that you didn't dream about quitting. It's not that you're so tenacious and so strong, but life has got you pressed in a corner and you simply cannot let go of anything, and you have to stand there in the middle of the storm and keep pumping your head with the faith to persevere and just say, just hang in there, just don't give up, just don't give up. Some kind of way you're going to get through this. Great people are people who don't cave in. They're not people where everything goes right. All hell can break loose, and there's still something down inside of them that says, I'll never give up. They'll never take me alive. I'll be fighting. I mean, I'll have a knife in my teeth and a rag around my head, and I'll be coming at you like this. Never give up. Look at your neighbor and say, never give up. I want to identify, most of you know this story, but I want to identify just three. Well, before I do that, I think there are four notable things that the Lord gave me that you have to have if you're really going to be an overcomer in this world. And I want you to jot these down. I think they're worth having. You have to have great morals. You have to have great morals. You have to have a great value system. You can't care more about the goal than you do the process. See, when you start getting into morals, you start getting into what are you willing to do to get where you're trying to go. You can't get there just any kind of way. You have to have some limits in your life. Sometimes you have morals that you don't live up to, but you still need to have them. Because as long as you have them, it will help you to measure how far you are off from what you need to be. And like a compass, it helps you to get back on track again. There's not a person in here, in this room, who hasn't broken their own rules sometimes. But thank God you had some rules to break. And you were able to realign yourself because at least somebody had pitched a tent on where right is. Today I'm concerned because we've raised a generation that don't even seem to know or care where right is. Oh, can I talk to you this morning? You have to have great morals. Number two, you have to have great methods. You have to have great methods. You can't just have a goal and have no method, no plan to accomplish your goal, because if you do, it will lead to frustration, and frustration will terminate your dream. You have to have a great method, a process. Not only does it help you to get there, it also helps you to understand that you're not going to leap into your dream. That it's going to be a method that has to be employed, and you have to have a great method. If you don't have a great method, you can't be a great person. The third thing that this woman had that's critical, she had great means. She had great means. She had built up her resources. She was prepared for this day. She had not lived in a vacuum. Just because life didn't give her what she wanted, she didn't live in a vacuum. She had taken what she had and used it for God's glory. Even though she didn't have certain things, she used what she had for God's glory, and he had blessed her with great means. You cannot do anything for God if you don't recognize that you have the means to do it. That's what it means when it says your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. But if you don't know what your gift is, you won't find the room. This woman had a gift, and her gift created a room in her life. Great God. She gave it to Elijah, but it created a room in her life. She was gifted. She had the means to do it, and she did it. She had no idea when she did it how it was going to bless her, but she did it. Number 4, you have to have great management. To him whom much is given, much is required. And just because God answers your prayer and gives you what you dreamed of doesn't mean that you won't have to manage what he gave you. Some people think it's over when God gives it to you. It's just beginning when God gives it to you. If you don't manage what God's given it to you, you will waste what God has given you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? If you don't have these 4 things, you won't be ready to do what God has called you to do. You won't have the tenacious attitude that you need to persevere. You cannot be relentless if you don't have those 4 things. We got to have great morals. We got to have great methods. We got to have great means, and we have to have great management. The more God pours in your life, the more help you need to manage it. To him whom much is given, much is required. You cannot receive new blessings and handle them in old ways. Or am I talking to anybody this morning? And this woman was equipped and she was prepared. And whether she knew it or not, she was just waiting. She didn't realize she was waiting, but she was just waiting. God had an appointed time to bless her. He had an appointed time to bless her. And when you have an appointment with destiny, it seems that everything comes in your life to deter you from getting to the place that God would have you to go. When it has been predestined and predetermined that you should do something beyond the natural and the ordinary, you find unusual opposition that comes against you to stop you and deter your steps. You find obstacles on every side. And when you get like that, you value the word of God. This woman valued the word of God. I mean, before the attack came, she valued the word of God. She made room in her life for the word of God. Is there any room in your life for the word of God, for the man of God? Are you so busy that you don't have time? This woman she was a great woman. Great people make time for great resources because you're only as great as the resources you draw from. She made room in her life for the word of God.
Still to come on The Potter's Touch.
You're not going to destroy this. I went through too much. That's what you need to tell him about your children. I went through too much. You are not going to destroy this family. The devil is a lie. You need to tell hell no. You can't have my baby, my house, my joy, my finances, my marriage. I know you came to get my stuff. Oh, but you're messing with the wrong one this time.